What's going on, everybody? Welcome in to another episode of Profit Picks. If you are new, we always start this show by being transparent. And yesterday, I didn't do much right. I didn't get any picks right. The Knicks were absolute disgrace, disaster, pathetic, pitiful, however you want to call them. That's what that pick was. That's how they played like. And I also took the Heat later in the day. So yesterday, 0-3 in the NBA yesterday. Not a good day. Um, I did do a lot of work overnight for today. I already made 6 plays, and I'm still looking for some more. So looking to make that up here today, Rob Veno. How you doing here today? How's everything for you? You're muted.
I was just asking, can you hear me? I can't tell if I'm muted or not. Um, NBA yesterday, Skee 1-2. I left the chat with the LA Clippers team total. I believe that was my play. They did not get there. I had the Knicks. You used up all the words I could have used to describe their effort. But at nighttime, I had the Phoenix Suns team total over against Brooklyn. So that worked out. The day came out to a plus because I had a huge play on the national championship game, Miami and Indiana over 46 and a half, which they got too late, kicked a field goal to get it to 48. So that ended up making my day a plus. It was no thanks to the NBA, but a definite plus from college football. College hoops were 1-1, just dead even for the day.
That college game, it was very interesting. I could tell you, without without even doing too much research, without looking too much up, I know who everybody was on in that game, Rob Vino. By how the game was officiated. And I didn't have any money on it at all. I just watched as a spectator. But I guarantee you, the team that won had all the money on them.
Yeah. And
All right.
the team that lost collected.
Exactly. They got to the window. The other team got
Yeah,
the
they
trophy,
got
but
to
they
the
got to the
window.
window.
That's
For
right.
betters, that's all we care about, getting to that window.
Yeah. We
But
we have
man, it
different
was
standings.
some questionable calls, Rob, and
Mhm.
non-calls. I'll say that. And I'm not biased. I didn't have a cent on the game. I don't care for either team. I'm just calling it like I see it. All right, Vino. Phoenix and Philadelphia. That looks like that's going to be the first one up first today. Opened up -1 for Philly. Looks like it's still -1 or a pick 'em. Total came down slightly from 224, looking at 223. And let's actually refresh. We know what time it is. We know how they do these injury reports. Mark Williams is questionable. Embiid is out. Paul George is questionable. You do have the Sixers here on a back to back. The Suns, a back to back for them too, if I'm not mistaken. Um, and now you could be without, both big men. Seems to me, on the back to back, I like to think that there's less defensive effort. If you have less rim protection, maybe this is an over game here, Robino. How are you viewing Sixers and Suns?
Yeah, a little difficult because they are both on back to backs. But Phoenix, again, they've just been playing so well. It's so hard to get in front of them at this point in time. Doesn't matter what the restrictions are personnel wise on this team. I think I mentioned yesterday that they had been 14-2 against the spread last 16. Yesterday, they don't get there by half a point against the closing number, at least. I'd imagine somebody could have gotten either a push or maybe even a win during the day when it sunk to 8.5 for a second. But they did win again by 9 points. It's a long road trip. It's the fifth game of a road trip, and this is a back to back. That's difficult for sure. But they've been so successful on this trip now, 3-1. The question is, do you take your, you know, better than 500 road trip and go home and just get rid of this one, or do you go for 4-1? It looks winnable to me if you're Phoenix, so maybe they play hard here. I would expect them to. Philly was without Embiid last night; didn't really matter. Won the game fairly easily. I would kind of agree with a total play here over. The only thing that scares me is that the Phoenix Suns shot it so well last night. Don't know if we can get that repeat performance. 57% from the floor, 51% from three. It's a lot to ask. The defense kind of faded when you give up 117 to Brooklyn. That's not great. Um, I could, I guess, from that defensive standpoint of Phoenix and fifth road game, maybe look towards their defense being weak against Philly. Maybe a Philly team total ski. I didn't play this one, but as I talked to you about it, it's possible I could get the Philly team total at 111 and a half, maybe get to 112 tonight against Phoenix, which should be a tired team at this point.
Yeah, this is one I'm gonna pass on. Um, but the next game does seem pretty appealing here. We're looking at the Spurs and the Rockets. Opened up -5.5 for Houston. Is down to -4. Total open 225.5. Looks like 221. Easton is questionable. Adams is out. No Van Fleet. And then Devin Vassell is doubtful. For the Spurs, this is a back-to-back. For the Rockets, I'm not sure how many days of rest they have here, but it's not a back-to-back, so they have the rest advantage. Spurs did beat up on this Rockets team earlier in the season here, Rob Veno. Maybe it's a chance for Rockets to get back at them. The Rockets, though, their offense is just falling off a cliff. Like, they just can't score, and they're playing slow. Um, I I don't know. I like under in this game. I agree with the market, but more so, I don't want to chop it in half. I think you still get a good defensive effort on the back to back from San Antonio, at least for 24 minutes. We know Wemby down in the paint, every team talks about it. It's hard to do anything. And for a Rockets team that's having trouble shooting the ball, they're probably going to, really, really struggle to score. So I think this is more of an under game here. I also like a prop, but I'll pass it to you. Anything you like in Spurs and Rockets?
Well, I will say this, it's hard not to like a Houston under at this point. 11-2 to the under their last 13 games, 1-8 against the spread. Houston just hasn't done anything right recently, and it's hard to just snap right out of that. I'll go one step further, Ski, with the Rockets team total being 0-10 last 10 times, or 10-0 to the under last 10 times. So Rocket team total could be a potential play here. Playing against the Rockets, I wouldn't argue anybody off of. We see the line movement there. You do see the full game total coming down again, 2-11 over under mark for Houston last 13 games. Hard to look any other way. I don't doubt Houston's energy level against this team. I would think there's going to be full focus, but it does look like more of a grind. And maybe I think the numbers indicate more of a grind for the Houston side than the San Antonio side because Houston, like you mentioned, just complete difficulty scoring, a little bit overvalued. Let me just look real quick at their team total in this game, what it is currently. Houston 112 and a half. Their team total is 10-0 to the under last 10. Might try a little Houston team total under. That would seem reasonable to me. Like I say, the other bets do too, and the money's come towards San Antonio. But I think for me, if I was going to play, my top play would be the Houston team total under 112 and a half.
I can't say that I argue with that at all, Rob. See if we can get this up on the screen. Let's try a little something. I haven't done stuff like this in a while, but
Yeah.
uh, can you see this, Rob?
Not yet.
No. Okay, what am I doing wrong here? Okay, there we go. Now we should be able to see it. We can see this now, right?
We got it now. Yep.
All right, so let me get back over here. Yeah, I'm looking at Champagne. You see, he didn't make it his last two games without Vassell over his rebound prop. It was 6.5 the last two games. They dropped it down to 5.5. And honestly, the Rockets are a really good rebounding team. But you see, clearly, he's getting more opportunity, more minutes. His season average versus this graph without Devin Vassell gets a little bit of a minutes boost. And then just on the back to back, they rely on him even heavier. Like these are clearly, these are the ones without Vassell, but he's had 10, 9, 10. With a line of 5.5, you can look at the rebound chances 18, 15, 12 on a back to back. For whatever reason, they rely on him more. He's getting more minutes and he's attacking those boards. So I did play Champagne over 5.5 rebounds. Vino, Anything else before we move on?
Yeah, I mean, your graphics department has upgraded, Ski. Those are different than the charts you used to show. Those are fancy and colorful, and wow, I like that. I'm not going to argue with the numbers that you just showed us all, but yeah, I like the upgrade in the graphics.
Well, yeah, I mean, I did start using Props Madness. Helps me out quite a bit. I mean, it's similar to how we use the Money Baller to help us out with these full game sides and totals. I started using Props Madness, and having some success using it and helping me back up some of the ways that I'm thinking. So maybe if you guys don't wait for me to talk, you can check out Props Madness. You get 25% off if you use code SKEE25. All right. Next one, we will go Clippers and Bulls. Opened up -1 for the Bulls. Looks like it's all the way to -3.5 right now. Total open 226.5. Still looks like it's about right there. Um, my bad. Injury report. Got a little distracted there. Injury report. Giddy and Williams are both questionable. Collins is out. For the Clippers, Bogdanovich, Derrick Jones Jr., Kawhi, Chris Paul, all out. Interesting to me here, Vino. Um, Opens as a small favorite for Chicago, continues to get bet up. Makes me think that Giddy will be available tonight. I don't know how many minutes, he's going to play in his return, but it is also the second of a back-to-back for the Clippers. I mean, I guess we have to factor that in too. So rest advantage at home for the Bulls, maybe getting, Giddy back as well. Is it just that simple? We line up and go take the Bulls, or how are you viewing this game?
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to refer to the Clippers, even though they've been playing a lot better and they don't deserve this. I just think I'm going to do this because of the spot, the situation. I'm going to revert back to calling them walkers and tennis balls because I think Chicago's team total is going to go over here. It's a lot of games. It's 3 and 4 nights. This is the final of the road trip in a back-to-back spot. They didn't look all that great against Washington. Maybe Ski, you could attribute that somewhat to the 3 o'clock start time, East Coast, noontime Pacific. Yesterday, Martin Luther King Day, you get all these afternoon games being played. But the Clippers had a huge rest advantage in that game. We talked about it yesterday, 2 days worth of rest. The Wizards coming home from the West with only basically 24 hours, less than 24 hours to get ready for this game after returning home. And still, the Wizards were right there with them. So something tells me that whether Chicago covers here or not, maybe the numbers gotten a little out of hand. I'm not sure, but I think Chicago's going to score. It's a team that, has one asset. That's their offense. LA could be sluggish here. They were certainly sluggish yesterday. I don't know why all of a sudden they would find a boost of energy tonight, having to get on a plane and fly to Chicago. So for me, this one was pretty easy this morning. And the first one I played, it was Chicago team total over 114.5. It opened 113.5, been pushed up to the 114.5 that I got. But I just see the Clippers as being a little weak defensively tonight.
It's a possibility for the Clippers to get blown out here on a back to back. I don't know. My thought was to try to look at Brook Lopez and really just fade his rebounds because he's not really even trying to rebound the ball. And his minutes go down without Kawhi and with Zubac in the lineup as well. So I was thinking about fading him, but the number is so low. I mean, he has been going under it, but maybe I'll get there by the end of the day. Probably just need a little bit more time. The chat likes Chris Dunn over 16.5 PRA. Appreciate you sharing that. What up, JoJo the Gambler? We'll keep going here, Rob Veno. Next, we'll go T Wolves and Jazz. And this one opened up -10.5. Looks like 13.5 now. Total open 244.5. Either that or 245.5 currently. And this is one where we are waiting on some injury news, or at least I am, because I want to make some bets. But I need to know who's available. Just see. Did we get any news right now? We did not. Oh, yes, we did. Nas Reed is available to play in this game. Terrence Shannon Jr. is going to be out. Marketing is questionable. Sensible questionable. Harkless and Niang are both out. It is a back-to-back for this Jazz team. Um, Here's my thing, I mean, we pretty much know actually the Jazz without marketing, they still play fast. They still don't play any defense. The defense gets worse, matter of fact. Um, so even if marketing is out, I think the over is still worth a look. If marketing is in, I'm looking a little bit more towards the Jazz here. Um, I just feel like they play really well at home. He gives them that big scoring boost that they need to hang in there. He helps them a little bit more defensively with his length. I would look a little bit more towards Utah plus if he's in, over if he's out. How are you viewing this one?
Well, I mean, the schedule does Utah no favors, right? First home after a 5 game road trip. They just flew home. I mean, not that San Antonio to Utah is a long flight, but still, 5 game road trip, played yesterday, come home, play again today. Minnesota's had 2 days rest, full, even though they're on the road. I think that's a huge edge for the Timberwolves here. One thing, Ski, and I don't play a lot of props. I hardly play any props in the NBA, but something crossed my mind where Anthony Edwards is concerned being left off the starting lineup for the NBA All Star team. I know it shouldn't matter, but I know it matters to these guys. Um, Anthony Edwards, he's not always that vocal of a guy where stuff like this is concerned, but it probably sits wrong with him. I mean, the names ahead of him, it's hard to argue with, but still, sometimes a little petty, sometimes can lead to 40-point outbursts from AE tonight. Certainly, there's not going to be any defensive resistance. Minnesota's team total was 128.5. That's large. But like you said, at home at Utah, we've talked about it a lot this year. And no number seems to be too high in these games, whether it be full game total, whether it be team total. I like I agree. Let's put it this way. I agree with the money move towards Minnesota in this game because the scheduling does Utah no favors. I would like to play the Minnesota team total over if I can just, bite my tongue and get there and say 129 is definitely doable in this instance. Or full game total, like you say, might be even the better play. Why exclude Utah at home other than, this is probably a fatigue spot for Utah. I just don't see Utah being all that competitive tonight.
All right, we'll keep going down the list here. Next up looks like Raptors and Warriors. This one opened up -5.5. Looks like 4 or 3.5 there. Total open 227.5. Looks like it's down either 224.5 or 225.5. It's going to depend where you shot for that one. Looking at the injury report, I mean, we know Jimmy Butler went down last night. That was terrible. He's going to be done for the season. Horford is doubtful. Santos is questionable. Draymond and Melton are both probable. For the Raptors, they'll be without RJ Barrett, CMB, Jakob Pertl, Jacoby Walter, and Hepburn. Um, I don't really like the injuries for the Raptors team. I don't really love the situation for the Warriors. But I start to think of this is like a prop game for me because it, you're missing two bigs for the Raptors. Some way you should be able to take advantage of that. It used to be just betting on Mamu, but his numbers have gone up now. On the other side, no Jimmy Butler, plenty more production to go around without him on the court. Um, it's either going to be Will Richard or Buddy Hield. Um, I think Buddy Hield over 8.5. I think they'll need him a lot. And I don't think the Raptors are really good defending the perimeter. Like I think Buddy Hield can get loose. So I'm thinking Buddy Hield is the play here between the two, but can't talk you off really either. Will Richard or Buddy Hield. Anything from you on Raptors and Warriors here, Rob Veno?
Yeah, I would just probably just tail your prop ski because I have no definitive opinion on this game. And in fact, last night again, you know, late night game, see that I'm going to win that NCAA title game, got to bet something else. And I didn't recommend it to clients, but I had said yesterday that I've been making money on Golden State games over. Got it again last night on a personal level. Game went way over. They've just been playing so good offensively that I hate the disruption of Jimmy being out now. and I don't know what to do with it on a back-to-back game. So I immediately crossed the game off. I don't have any faith in Toronto per se. So for me, maybe I take advice from you on props here, and I just can't offer anything on this game. I think it's a tough situation for Golden State, a team that had been rolling offensively. Like I say, they've cashed a lot of over tickets in the last 2 weeks, whether it be team total or full game total. But now I'll have to watch a couple and see how they do here. It looks like I don't know, like you say, I'm looking at last night's box real quick here. Pajemski had 24. You mentioned Buddy Hield's going to get minutes now. Um, yeah, I mean, Buddy Hield from a prop standpoint probably makes a lot of sense.
Saturated says, does this mean Kaminga gets a chance or does Kerr bury him on the bench out of spite? I don't think they want him to get hurt too, right? They're trying to move him. So
Right.
I wouldn't really be playing on him too much. Lakers and Nuggets here, Rob Veno opened up -2 for the Nuggets. Looks like it's flipped. It's -2.5 for the Lakers. Total open 230 down to 228. Injuries, still no Reeves, no Thiero for the Nuggets. Valanciunas, Jokic, Cam Johnson, Christian Braun, TJ Bates, all out. Jamal Murray, Tim Hardaway Jr., Aaron Gordon, all probable. Um, First thing that comes to my mind is not a whole lot of defense, Rob, but the market is pushing this one down. Um, you know, I can't help but think that there's points scored in this game tonight. I would disagree with the market, and I like Rui. Rui over 7.5 points. You're getting into that even money, and he came back from injury 4 games ago. Slowly getting more and more minutes, and um, I think he first 2 games he had 18. He didn't hit this. Then he had 19. Then he had 21, and he scored 10 and 11. So shooting 10 shots. I think Rui's getting back to being himself. This is a matchup that he can drive in because the Nuggets defense is not good. Um, yeah, Rui over 7.5. That's what I went with here, Rob Vino. Anything from you, Lakers and Nuggets?
Well, I'm with you 100% on fading the market here where total is concerned. I don't understand the push down, to tell you the truth. The Lakers haven't proven to play defense much all season long. They did get the good game against Toronto after, you know, head coach goes a little bit crazy and after they had given up on 32 and 135. But we've seen it out of the Lakers before this year. A random good defensive performance followed up by just lackluster D again. They certainly can get involved in a track meet here with Denver and outscore them. I think they've got the offensive capability for sure. I don't know why this game has come down, Ski, especially with, Jamal Murray and Aaron Gordon being in. I feel like Denver finds ways to score at home no matter what. And faced with the Lakers defense, they should find ways again. So for me, it's probably going to be a play on the full game total up and over. I think we're getting the best of it. And the reason for the push down, I can't explain.
Good stuff. Last on the list, we have Heat and Kings. I guess I should have maybe doubled back to the comments, but let me just see. Yeah, they like Nuggets and the over. He thinks Markin is going to the Warriors. Hardaway over 22.5. Saturated asking about Peyton Watson. He has been
Good.
good, but his number is so inflated now. Like, only gonna let you beat him so much. Like you were betting what 16.5 or something, maybe 10 games ago. Now it's what 22.5. I don't know, man. That's all I think about. All right. Heat and Kings opened up. This site says 4. I'm not sure if that's correct, but we're looking at 3.5. Total open 236.5. We'll call it 238 right now. Rozier and Hero both listed as out on the site here. Keegan Murray listed out for the Kings. There's a back-to-back for this Heat squad, Rob Vino. And I do like this game. I played I like it side and total. So before I ruin it, I'll ask you. Let's see if we agree. What do you like in Heat and Kings?
Well, I don't like the fact that Miami's back to back shorthanded again, but I do like the fact that their games have just become high scoring again. I don't trust the Sacramento defense at all. but we do like Sacramento offensively. They had been playing really, really well until that Portland game the other night. I think Sacramento had 4 double-digit wins in a row, and then Portland came in, and I think and somebody correct me if I'm wrong because I'm not looking at the box score right now, but I think Denny Avdia came back for Portland the other night, and Portland walked into Sacramento in the second of back-to-backs and won that game. But that game landed 229. Sacramento's still getting involved in pretty high scoring games. Don't know why I would go against that here. But I didn't bet it just because Miami's on the back to back and a little bit depth shy without Hero now. So I guess Hero's going to be out for an extended period of time too. Had an MRI yesterday. He's not coming back anytime soon. I don't know, Ski. It's a little rough. I kind of lean towards Sacramento here, to tell you the truth. I think the scheduling situation favors them, and they had been playing really well before Portland.
You know, I'm gonna clean it up a little bit here and not say how I really want to say, but who cares? Tyler Hero's out. I mean, they could just trade Tyler Hero at this point and get something else for this guy, something that could help the rest of these guys. Because I mean, they look solid enough at times throughout this season. Yesterday, not the best performance. They couldn't shoot very well. Warriors were shooting well. Um, but I'm willing to take a shot on the Heat here, Rob, on a back to back. One, I mean, they kind of let it go last night after they figured, as you say, we can't shoot straight. The Warriors are shooting extremely straight. We play tomorrow. We're just gonna let it go. Nobody played over 30 minutes in that game last night. I'm pretty sure. Um, and the Heat, you know, listening to them talk, and I forget exactly who it was. It might have been Norman Powell. Um, and it wasn't after this past game. It was maybe after the Thunder game that they played when they beat the Thunder. He was pretty much saying that like the Spolstra maybe challenge the team or call some stuff out, or they talked about things that they need to do, or they talked about something that's happened in the past and how they can replicate that and have success with that. And that's their goal, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And that's how they're going to continue to approach the games and play that way, et cetera, et cetera. What I took it as was they want to get back to playing how they were to start the year. I mean, we all saw the Pacers last year, the Pacers the year before playing crazy up tempo and wearing teams out, et cetera, right? That's how the Heat were playing to start the year. And the Heat were looking damn good. They were killing everybody, right? Then I forget if either injuries happened. I know somebody went on, a show and talked about how they were playing offense, whatever the case may be. I don't know. Things just started to change. Now versus that Thunder team, they started to get back to that way of playing. They were playing the same way versus Golden State. They just couldn't hit their shots. They're sharing the ball the way I like to see teams sharing the ball. I want to buy in on the Miami Heat in the near future. I think that they're better than the Kings. The Kings, yeah, they've been playing well lately. Maybe it's time to come back down to earth, especially after that loss to Portland. I like the Heat here. And if you were listening to anything I said, you know which way I think they're going to play. And I like the total going up and over. Any thoughts on that, Rob Veno?
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, I think we talked about that a little bit yesterday in the Golden State Miami game. Miami had gotten back to the quick pace. I thought that game was going to go over. Cash with that one. Just going back over their last five, Ski 236, 248, 233, 242, 247. It's all back to Heat, fast paced basketball again. Last five. If you dig back even a little further, they had a 142 against Indiana, 147 against Denver. So I think their pace is there. Only reason I stopped short was because of maybe some depth shyness in a back to back, but it doesn't take away from the way they're going to play. And to your point, when they started the season, they played that way on back to backs no matter what. I'd have to go back and get the exact games where they were back to back, but I remember you and I being on this show real early in the year, back to back with so much pace. Would it affect them? And it never did. Like once you get in condition to play that way, back to backs don't bother you too much. So I would agree with over here tonight from the totals perspective.
Very good stuff, Rob. I'm glad we agree on that. That looks like it's the NBA card for today. So I think we did a pretty good job. Let's see. We're going to toss up $5 Tuesday. You can go to Rob's page or my page, and you'll see a top play posted for just $5. You can check it out. See if you like a write up or just, see if we have some success if you want to continue to do it for longer term than that. So, Vino, that would be the only promo I do as far as putting something up on the screen today. But I will ask you if there's anything else you would like to promote. And if you have a best bet for the show, we'd love to hear it. If you don't, no worries.
Yeah, today's $5 Tuesday. That's what we'll promote here, Skee. $5 Tuesday. Go ahead and check it out. I got a lot of college basketball up today. We'll get the NBA up quickly for you guys. But one of those ones that'll go up, you'll get right here. I love the line you had before with the Peyton Watson prop. They're only going to let you beat him so much,
Yeah.
and they're going to let me beat him here tonight. I think because they're not. I don't think there's enough respect in the team total for the Bulls. The Clippers again. I'm going to revert to the Walkers and tennis balls just for this spot. They've been playing too good for me to call them that overall, but end of a long road trip. Didn't look good yesterday. Looked sluggish. Maybe they took it easy, but Chicago was on deck. What are you worried about? Play the game. So to me, it's going to be Bulls on rest. Team total here tonight, Skee, I believe, was 114.5 when we looked a second ago, and it remains 114.5. So that'll be my best bet.
All right, good stuff, Rob Veno. Yeah, for me, thinking if I want to go player prop or not. Do I want to put the colorful stuff back up on the screen, or do I want the?
I love that stuff.
All right. Well, you know what? For Rob Veno, then, since Rob Veno loves it, we'll put something back on the
Yeah.
screen. How about that? But if let's see if I can get it done here. Props. And it'll be part of a promo too. I mean, if you want to do this stuff on your own, if you don't want to wait for me, you want to check out Props Madness. Like I said, use code SKEE25. You'll get 25% off your first month. But yeah, you can see this, right, Ravino? Oh no, you can't. Here we go. Now you can see it. For our best bet
Now we
today,
got it.
we'll go back to what we talked about in that Warrior game. We'll go Buddy Hield. I mean, it's either going to be him or Will Richard. We're going to go Buddy Hield over the 8.5 points. You can see on here every game without Jimmy Butler, he has cleared it. There have been a couple of those games that were on the back-to-back. He cleared them in both games. I just think they're really going to rely on him here tonight. And you're playing a team who you can see here, not really good defending spot-up shooters. Number 22 in that regard. So my best bet for the show will be Buddy Hield over 8.5 points. Vino, always appreciate you taking the time to cap these games with me. Definitely helps my process. I'm sure it helps everybody else out there as well. Chat, you guys help make the show what it is. We appreciate you guys. Everybody just trying to help each other win. And yeah, I see now we have a nice, healthy slate of games tomorrow, Ravino. So we'll be back doing this again tomorrow, and we'll catch you all then.